Hey everybody, welcome back. It is Ethan and I here again. We're going to talk about just stuff going on in the Cubs world right now, sort of early, mid-May. We'll start definitely with sort of the injured players. Obviously, the team has been very hurt in the early going to start this year, but we're finally starting to see some of the big guys return for the roster.
It's no surprise to see injuries happen during an MLB season. It's kind of, I would say, a surprise for the Cubs to see how many injuries we've gotten within the first few weeks of this series. But the two big surprises that we got was Cody Bellinger and Justin Steele being out for the first few weeks. But we had some prospects kind of step up to the plate and take over for them. But now that Justin Steele and Cody Bellinger are back, first, Brandon, I'd love to get your thoughts on them being back on the field and on the mound.
Yeah, it's good. Look, Cody Bellinger is arguably the team's best hitter. Justin Steele, pretty inarguably the team's best pitcher. So it's good. Baseball is a team sport as much as anything else, but it's the stars that can obviously make or break a team, especially over the course of a 162 game season. So Steele looked good in his first appearance back. Bellinger has looked fine at the plate, thankfully. Doesn't look, his timing looks fine. He had like a minimum stay on the injured list, which is nice. So yeah, I think again, Pete Armstrong came up in Justin Steele's play or in Bellinger's place, excuse me.
I'd be
And
worried if Pete Crow Armstrong came up in Justin Steele's place.
Yeah, I don't know how well he would have done there. He looked fine. He played good defense in the outfield. He hit a bit more, which was nice to see, but he definitely still needs some time in the minors. The rotations look great, even without Steele, which again we'll talk about shortly. But yeah, I think it's nice to have those guys back. The Cubs are going to need them if they want to make any noise this year.
We heard about it a lot when we went to the Mets game last week, and we saw it firsthand when PCA came up to bat, and we've seen it a lot in replays. I completely agree with you. I think he needs a lot more time, and maybe I'm going to get flack for saying this. He came up to the major leagues just last season. He didn't really deliver. I still think he needs a lot more tailoring when it comes to the coaches, when it comes to just getting the ball out. I think he's still a little too hot when it comes to he's getting too eager with the ball, if you ask me. Maybe that's a hot take, but
Yeah, I think, again, he's a very young player. He's in his early 20s. He's been a top prospect for a couple of years. I think, obviously the nerves play a big point. He's been appointed sort of a not a franchise savior, but he's been this incredibly hyped up guy, and there's obviously this need for him to be great right off the bat. And the Cubs can obviously afford to be patient with him, as long as Bellinger and the other guys are healthy. Which again, it's starting to happen. Seiya Suzuki has been out for almost a month now, I think. He's looks like he's on a rehab stint right now. He's playing well in AAA, so he should be back up hopefully soon. Which will give the Cubs their whole outfield depth back. Mike Talkman has been great in his place, but again, Seiya Suzuki just makes the Cubs better. So obviously the Cubs have done a great job treading water. They're tied for first in the NL Central right now with the Brewers, but they need their stars to come back and stay healthy.
we've had for the past few games, I don't want to say it's been low scoring, but we'll call it like mid scoring. We've had some games where it's been like 1-0, 4-3, 7-6, something like that. I think with Bellinger back up at bat, we can really start seeing a little bit of the double digits again. I'm really excited to see now that he's off the IL what the Cubs are going to be dealing with again.